there are so many people who are failures and defeat in the Bible. They were utterly a failure. So it is good to reflect about them, and then we will come to know how to avoid such kinds of failures. There are so many who are in the Bible who are considered failures. They were defeat losers in the Bible. There are so many people who are victorious in the Bible, and there are also so many people a disaster or a failure or a loser. Today we are going to reflect about one character called Lot. Lot is the son of the brother of Abraham, Abraham's brother's son. And Abraham, when he left his native place, Ur, because God spoke to him, and the whole family left, Abraham and his brother and his parents, and they all left Ur and came to Haran. In Haran, a place called Haran in Iraq, suddenly he had a vision of God. God spoke to him. God of Abraham spoke to Abraham and told him to leave his family and everyone and go to a place which God is going to show him. And then he started the journey. When he started the journey, one more person from his family joined with him, that is Lot. Lot and his wife and his children. Lot joined with him because Lot came to know Abraham is a man of blessing. Abraham has got God experience. God spoke to Abraham, if I join with Abraham, I will be also a blessing. I will also get blessings. Therefore, I will accompany Abraham wherever he goes. And that was the attitude of Lot, and he joined with Abraham and Sarah, and they started the journey. They started the journey and they went a long journey. And in between, we read from the book of Genesis chapter 12, we read Abraham and Sarah, they went to Egypt. And Pharaoh had a temptation to possess Sarah. And there was some incident that happened, we have already heard in the Bible. And that time, there is nothing mentioned about Lot. But at the same time, some Jewish commentaries speak about Lot, who also accompanied Abraham and went to Egypt. There he married an Egyptian woman and he got a lot of wealth from Egypt. And then both of them came back from Egypt. And then chapter 13, we read like this. Chapter 13 of Genesis, chapter 13, 1 onwards, we read like this. Chapter 13, verse 1 onwards, we read. So Abraham went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him into the Negev. Lot, accompanied Abraham and followed Abraham. And that was his decision because he knew Abraham is a man of blessing. God speaks to him. And if I accompany him, I will be a blessing and God will bless me too. That was the intention. He started the journey with Abraham. And later, in Egypt, he had a lot of money and he got a wife from Egypt. And then they came to Negev. And let's see what happened to Lot. We read verse 2. The word of God says, now Abraham was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. Abraham became very rich. And then what happened to Lot? Verse 3. We read like this. He journeyed on by stages from the Negev as far as Bethel to the place where his tent had been at the beginning between Bethel and Ai. Next one, verse 4. To the place where he had made an altar at the first, and there Abraham called on the name of the Lord. And he called the name, he made an altar and he started sacrificing in front of in front of God. Verse 5, we read like this. Now Lot, who went with Abraham, also had flocks and herds and tents. Lot went with Abraham, got blessings. Because Lot was blessed because he went with Abraham. My dear brothers and sisters, we are getting blessed because we are connected to the anointed people. When go with God, go with the presence of God. If you know that somebody is called for God, somebody is walking in the path of God, always make sure to have a good connection with them. Good connection and good accompaniment with them. You also will be blessed. If you know someone is always following God, someone is a man of God, a woman of God, a man of prayer or woman of prayer, and somebody who is so connected to God, if you accompany them, if you follow them, their footsteps, you will also get the blessing. You will also get blessings in many ways.